Hi, friend, and welcome to Tidy the Clutter podcast. I'm Mariah, and I'm so glad you're here. This is the place where we talk about real life ways to simplify your home and digital spaces. Let's face it, life gets busy real quick. Between work, kids, emails, and everything else on your plate, it's easy to feel like things are slipping through the cracks. The good news, it doesn't have to stay that way. In each episode, I'll be sharing practical tips, small wins, and simple strategies to help you clear the clutter, both in your physical and digital spaces. You can feel more in control and have more time for what truly matters most to you. Whether it's setting up routines that stick, taming your inbox, or tackling toy chaos, my goal is to make getting organized doable, even on your busiest days. So, grab your favorite drink, settle in, and let's get started. If you've been struggling to stay organized with kids, you're not alone. The piles of laundry, the toys, the endless dishes sound familiar? Well, today we're going to dive into some real talk about why it's so hard to stay organized, especially with those cute little kids in the mix. We're diving into quick fixes that you can honestly start using right away, and we'll even cover some habits you can teach your kids to help keep things a little more under control. And it's not about perfection, it's about progress. That is one of the key things that I've had to remind myself throughout the years. It's not about perfection, it's about progress. Being organized when you've got kids isn't just about finding the right bins or finding the best chore chart. The real challenge is honestly that life is consistently moving. There are school drop-offs, activities, meal prep, laundry, and let's face it, kids don't always want to help. Throw in emotional attachment to their stuff like their favorite toys or their art projects, and suddenly you're drowning in clutter. What is all of this stuff? Am I right? It's hard to stay organized because there's simply a lot on our plates. And when we don't have time, the house reflects that. But that's okay. It is honestly okay because we're focusing on progress and not perfection. Now, not too long ago, when we welcomed our second child into the family, I remember feeling completely overwhelmed, drowning in toys, from my toddler's toys to now the baby's toys, all the laundry, and just plain clutter. Just everything was so cluttered. I felt like I couldn't keep up with the day-to-day tasks, plus working, plus keeping everything else in order. But once I realized that it wasn't about having a Pinterest perfect home, although those homes look so beautiful and aesthetically pleasing, I started focusing on small wins like 10-minute cleanups or 15-minute resets and getting my little ones involved. And those small changes made a huge difference. One of the first things I started doing was giving my kiddos tiny age-appropriate tasks. Now, remember, I had a baby and a toddler. So we're specifically talking about my toddler here, right? But giving her age-appropriate tasks, it sounds so simple, but it's amazing how much it helps. When the overwhelm hit, I had my oldest help me with her socks. She'd match them up and put them away. Now, my youngest loves hanging her shirts in the closet when we are doing laundry. And are they completely hung perfectly? Absolutely not. Nope. But they're not falling off and they actually don't look that bad. So I will take it. I will take it. When she was old enough to start helping with laundry, I was going to have her start with her socks, just like my oldest did. But she wanted a bigger job and ended up really liking the fact that she could put her shirts away. Not only did it take a load off me, but it also gets her excited about helping out, especially during laundry time. I'm not saying every day is perfect. Far from it, my friend. Far from it. But these little moments make a gigantic difference. I've actually heard that you can turn this into even more of a game by setting like a timer to see who can pick up the most toys before the timer goes off, or playing some music and having a dance cleanup party. I honestly haven't tried these yet. So I think in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to have to introduce this dance cleanup party because I feel like my girls would really like them. Now, another thing that I found really helpful was simplifying the systems around the house. I'm talking space specific bins for toys or hooks for backpacks near the back door. Things that are super easy for kids to follow, the more straightforward the system, the more likely they are to use it, and the less I have to remind them, which for me is a win. My kids now know exactly where their things go, and it saves me time from tripping over shoes or stepping on Barbie toys or finding their backpack. It really saves me time at the end of the day. Honestly, the biggest win for me has been the 15-minute reset before leaving the house. If we're running an errand, the play area gets cleaned. The girls pitch in and we are able to tidy up in less than 15 minutes. Putting things back in their places gives us a tidy space for when we get back home. We also do this right before bath time. Everyone pitches in and tidies the room, and this gives us a fresh start for the next day. It's super fast, it's easy, and it gives me such a sense of calm knowing that we've reset the space together, even if it's not perfect. Now, of course, I don't want to forget the importance of recognizing their efforts too. So when my kids help out, even in the smallest ways, I make sure to praise them. A simple thank you or high five goes a super long way and encourages them to continue helping. Plus, they love feeling like they've made a difference. And let's be real, so do I. I appreciate it. Hey, if you missed it, make sure to grab my 15-minute Digital Declutter Checklist. It's perfect for squeezing in some quick wins during those little pockets of time. Whether you're waiting in the carpool line or just have a few minutes right before bed, we all know how digital clutter can pile up. Emails, apps, random files. This checklist breaks it down into simple 15-minute tasks to help you clear out the chaos without feeling overwhelmed. So you can find it in the show notes or head to tidytheclutter.com/digital15 to grab your copy. Trust me, it's a game changer for simplifying your digital life. Now, I know what you might be thinking. All these tips sound great, Mariah, but what if it's just not working for my family? Let's be honest here. You're not alone. You're not alone, my friend. I hear from moms who face a couple of common challenges when it comes to staying organized with kids. So let's talk about two of the biggest ones and how to tackle them. First, my kids just won't help out. I get it. It can feel like pulling teeth to get kids to pitch in sometimes, especially when they're younger or super resistant to chores. They're like allergic to chores. Oh no. The key here is to find a way to make helping out fun or meaningful to them. You could create a reward system where they earn points or stickers for helping out. And then once they reach a certain amount of points or stickers, they get to choose a fun family activity, or they get to go out for an ice cream cone, something kind of small and simple that way. You can even set a timer or turn cleaning into a game, like I mentioned a bit earlier. The trick is to make it feel less like a chore and more like a fun challenge. And remember, patience is key. It takes time for kids to learn these habits. Now, second is I don't have time to keep up with organizing. I hear you. Busy moms don't have endless hours to dedicate to cleaning and organizing, and that's totally okay. The goal is progress, not perfection. Start small, like with the 15-minute resets I mentioned earlier. You don't need to tackle the entire house in one go. Focus on just one high traffic area like the kitchen or the living room. Keep that space clear. Even small, consistent efforts will add up over time and make your home feel more manageable. And if you're feeling overwhelmed by digital clutter, you've got that 15-minute digital declutter checklist to help you get a quick win in your digital spaces too. And you can grab the checklist in the show notes at tidytheclutter.com/002. Just to quickly recap, here are the main strategies we talked about today and staying organized with kids. First, start small by giving your kids age-appropriate tasks, like putting away socks or hanging up their own clothes. Second, make organizing fun by turning it into a game with timers or music. Third, create simple, easy-to-follow systems like labeled bins or hooks to keep things organized. Fourth, use a 15-minute family reset before leaving the house or at the end of the day, just to keep the clutter under control. And finally, number 5, don't forget to praise your kids for their efforts. It makes a big difference. Now, I'm going to challenge you this week. Pick just one of these strategies and try it out for your family, whether it's the 15-minute reset or getting the kids involved. Take one small step toward a more organized home this week. But don't forget to grab the 15-minute digital declutter checklist if you haven't already. You'll find the link in the show notes or at tidytheclutter.com/digital15. It's perfect for tackling digital clutter in just a few minutes. Next time on Tidy the Clutter, we'll be diving into how just a few minutes of tidying up can make a huge difference in reducing overwhelm. I'll be sharing why quick tidy ups are a game changer and how to prioritize the areas in your home that need the most attention. Plus, we'll also talk about easy ways to turn tidying into a daily or weekly habit so your home feels more peaceful without taking up hours of your time. Don't forget to tune in next week, and you can find all the links and the list of tips and strategies inside the show notes at tidytheclutter.com/002. Until then, keep things simple, stay focused, and enjoy those small wins along the way. Take care and talk soon. Thanks so much for tuning in to the Tidy the Clutter podcast. I hope you're leaving today with at least one small step that you're excited to take. Remember, it's not about being perfect. It's about finding what works for you and building on it little by little. If you enjoyed today's episode, I'd love it if you'd give the podcast a follow and leave a quick review. It really helps others find the show and join us on this journey toward less stress and more ease. And if you're looking for more tips, resources, or just a bit of extra motivation, head over to tidytheclutter.com. And everything you need to stay organized and feel more in control is waiting for you there. Until next time, keep things simple, stay focused, and enjoy those small wins along the way. Take care and talk soon.